Happy Tuesday. Oh, yes. I love you. I love every single one of you. I love every single one of you, even the unattractive ones. I love you even more. You've been through a lot being so ugly. All right, it's time to get excited because we're doing this.
The audience decides the story.
All right, now typically I only give the audience 2 topics, but tonight I'm feeling generous and I propose a 3-way. Why waste the Viagra, am I right? So I'll present each choice and then you'll applaud, and the one that gets the most hootin' and hollerin' wins. You know, it's like a wet t-shirt contest at your local Cracker Barrel. Why did they stop that? Topic 1. Sweden could follow in America's footsteps and spiral into a recession because their GDP has shrunken more than expected. As you know, Sweden is famous for producing Anne Margaret and wood. Who likes that one? All right, not into Sweden. It's too bad. We had that ABBA medley ready to go. All right, topic 2, a story we've barely covered. The Canadian trans teacher with fake breasts so huge the cup size is Himalayas. All right. Not bad, not bad. Okay, that's good, that's good. Now, on to topic 3. Elon Musk will be here on set to share a discovery of a substance that will cure aging, cancer, and virtually all other diseases. It could triple our lifespans, and it's free to everyone. Oh, my God. Holy crap. Wow. All right. That's amazing. All right. Looks like Elon and the aging cure is the winner here. Oh, sorry. My producer. Just being told in my ear that the bad weather has canceled Elon's flight. Yeah, he can't make it. He can't make it. Well, son of a bitch, looks like Captain wins. That was a close one. Whew. So what's the latest on the high school woodshop teacher whose favorite project is always a giant rack? Hit it.
If it happens up there, we report down here. You're watching Gazumbagate. Canada 2023. Week 24.
Ontario's Halton District School Board has finally adopted a new policy regarding Kayla Lemieux and her cartoonish knockers. Now, for those of you just hearing about this story, I'm sorry for your loss. So here's a recap. She, once a he, began identifying as female last year and started wearing massive prosthetic breasts to class. The school board still stands behind the teacher. No other choice. The Post obtained photos of Lemieux outside of school without the breasts, dressed as a man. He tells the Post he's not transgendered at all, but was born intersex, and they're due to a rare medical condition called gigantomastia. It's a word I had to Google and then keep doing an image search for several hours. Well, after months of parental outrage, global attention, and cravings for dairy, the school board has released a so-called professionalism policy for parent review, but it contains no details on dress for teachers. And you thought our school boards were filled with idiots. Get a load of what these geniuses came up with. Quote, the purpose of this policy is to consolidate and affirm existing expectations regarding staff professionalism, including dress and decorum at board and school settings and at school-based activities, focusing on the importance of demonstrating through personal presentation respect for public education and each student's right to learn in a safe, inclusive, and accepting environment. Jesus. That's basically the only spot in the entire document that mentions dress. And I should know, I made a minimum wage intern read the policy several times while waxing my back. Yet nowhere, what's a mistake? Yet nowhere in that mishmash of respect, inclusivity, safety, and more Canadian-level politeness does it say, and don't strap on a pair of knobs that could breastfeed King Kong and Godzilla. The policy is supposed to be presented to the board on Wednesday, but without a dress code for employees like Kayla, what good will it do? other than provide this show and this audience with another year's worth of great content. I'm starting to think these school administrators watch this show and love basking in the limelight. Surely the same school that has a dress code for Halloween would have a dress code for every other damn day. But it all boils down to what I've been saying for a while. Kayla could be the greatest troll in the history of trolls. So has the teacher proved her point? Or rather, points? Kayla could be exposing, among other things, the lunacy of the woke agenda, a world where no one dare criticize or much less pass a dress code policy without fear of being labeled a transphobe. He's calling their bluff with breasts the size of boulders. And everybody pretends he's legit, even when the proof is staring you in the face like a pair of plastic areolas. Or as I call them, scariolas. Remember, we called it before. This is a costume, and it's worn only at certain times. It's fetishistic. And I'm still shocked that there's no social media footprint of this teacher before his transition. I mean, what are the odds of that? A person at the center of a crazy stunt, never been on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? And what about his family or his friends? It's so quiet, you could hear a boob drop. Of course, Kayla really could be flat out bonkers, as she told the New York Post. Recently, she's not wearing fake breasts. They're real. Although Brian Stelter told the Post the same thing when they saw him at a Holiday Inn pool in Yonkers. Wear a t-shirt, Brian. But no, they aren't real. You have a bigger chance that a pair of Chinese spy balloons floated off course and into her sweater. So ultimately, I made it go to my grave never knowing the real story behind those Titanic. But I'd rather die seeking the truth than live in the shadows of those giant, magnificent bazooms. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He doesn't wear LL Bean because he says it looks too urban. Fox News contributor Tom Shalhoub. She puts her money where her mouth is, which is dangerous because you could choke and die. Fox business anchor Lauren Simonetti. He is to woke culture what the health department is to the Views bathroom. Author of the book, The New Puritans, Andrew Doyle. And she's wise beyond her years, is something no one has ever said. Fox News contributor Kat Tiff. Andrew, I have to go to you first because you are a notorious prankster. I mean, you played the role of Tatiana.
Or Titania.
Titania.
Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, you Brits always screw up words.
We mess up your language. don't we?
Exactly.
I think we kind of got there first on it. But...
That is true, and you don't let us forget it. But you pretended to be somebody else, and to great effect. And you have a theory here. What do you think is going on?
Well, I used to agree with you, and I used to think that this was a troll, that this was someone trying to expose the absurdity of gender identity ideology. I've now come to the conclusion it's real. There's too much commitment, right? You know. And then there was that interview you mentioned where this guy says these are real. They're not prosthetic at all. And I did Google that, and there is a condition that would explain that. It's what's it called? Lying.
Yes.
That's what it's known as.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. What's been really interesting to me is the reaction from the school board, because they've been so determined to sort of defend the teacher, saying, well, this is a minority group, this is an oppressed minority, this is someone who's vulnerable, and that really the media, we shouldn't be talking about it. We should leave him alone, right?
Right.
But I mean, like, and look at this person. I mean, clearly there is a point there, because clearly this is the sort of person that hates being the centre of attention.
Exactly.
Yeah, they hate it. So
leave me alone. You know what they are? They're the Canadian version of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
That's right.
Yeah. Who are also two. Thank you. At least one person applauded. I think in England that means something that I differently, right? No, that's twits. I don't know. Tom?
I can't tell. I don't know.
Do you have a theory? You know, you think you're a deep thinker. I think.
I don't know if, well, you could say, is it a troll or isn't it a troll? But is a troll only when you are trying to lampoon the absurdity of it? Or could you be trolling just for another reason? I don't know what the definition of it is really. But they said they were going to revise the dress code. They were like, we're going to look at the dress code. But the thing is, her dress code isn't offensive. She looks like a Mormon PE teacher, you know what I mean? Like, with the clothes.
With the clothes?
Yeah, like...
The clothes are fine.
The clothes are absolutely conservative.
Right.
So if, you know, I think that she thought of, I don't even say she, the guy thought of it before he did the whole thing. He's not wearing provocative clothing, so you can't call him on that. So I read this whole thing. Did you see the document? It doesn't say anything. It goes on for page after page, and it does. But I don't know if it matters. I don't know if it matters if it's a troll or not, because you have guys like Andrew. I enjoy his character, you know, when you see this lampooning character he does, but I also enjoy just as much the regular social justice warriors it's based on.
Right.
And I laugh just as much at that. I think, which one is more entertaining to me? They're both equally entertaining, and they're both equally as instructive in their absurdity. And I think whether this is a troll or whether it isn't, he's still annoying people. I mean, they should still remove him from the school. And the fact that the school is paralyzed shows so much.
It's amazing. I mean, he's telling an amazing story. This is I know it was a South Park plot years ago, I believe, but this is like an incredible, it's an achievement. It's performance art.
Yes. So whether he's doing it as performance art or he's doing it seriously, it's making the same point.
No, but it matters because there have been bomb threats to the school now, so some people are so upset about it. I mean, are they bomb threats or they're just worried that one of the breasts will pop? I don't know. But the school in its report has now said there's no urgency to resolve this matter. I think bomb threats for a school should be resolved sooner rather than later, personally.
That's a good, it's a great point, because then you're venturing into something dangerous. Lauren, I'm a little disappointed in Fox Business for not covering the story.
You know, I went down a deep, dark hole, like just Googling, and then I wanted to hear her voice. I was trying to find videos. You know, what is this teacher really like?
Yeah.
And I spent way too much time, and then it was voyeuristic. I said I had to stop.
Yeah.
But the parents of the school district have 2 GoFundMe pages. They're legitimately trying to raise $10,000, $15,000 to sue this district because this is so unfortunate for the kids, and it's a safety hazard.
Yeah.
She can't stand like that in front of woodcutters and saws.
Yes.
I mean, something needs to be done just for the safety of her.
Yeah, exactly.
And the students. And I always teach my kids, dress for the job you want.
Yes.
That is not how you're supposed to dress. I'd be fired if
imagine the job he wants.
Oh.
I don't know. Kat, you told me this morning that you were so happy we were covering this story and that there's been some progress made. You've been doing some of your own, like, dogged research and reporting. What can you tell us?
Yeah.
What can you share with us today?
Yeah, Lauren, you said you went down the rabbit hole. I've been forced down this rabbit hole. I spend months now, probably.
Yeah.
But I would also be remiss if I did not bring up the fact that I am also wearing a costume.
Yes.
Every single night on this show.
Yeah.
Some of the audience knows, whenever I will walk straight through the audience to come into the studio for hair and makeup, I never get, "Hi, Kat," I'll get, "Is that Kat?" Because I don't look like this. Look, I mean, what is there to say? I mean,
There's always something to say.
The school is in a bind, which they did that thing where if you, like, ask your boss for a raise and the next day you get an email like, "Great news, casual Fridays are back." They're trying to kind of distract because they don't feel like they can do anything. And when this came out, I was on a plane when it first came out that, you know, this old pictures from the New York Post dressed as a man. I was like, this doesn't mean it's over, because you can say non-binary, or gender fluid, where you're like more of a girl some days and more of a guy other days. And I haven't had any additional information despite my desperate pleas to the entire country of Canada. And if I could give back all the money I spent buying Jaeger bombs there on my 19th birthday that I contributed to their economy in the great city of Windsor, I would.
Well, we will remain on top of this story like the world's largest sports bra. Up next, did you ever notice how people are now wearing sports bra without anything else?
Like no shirt or no
Yeah, no,
matching
so just
pants?
people walking around in sports bras.
That was
Is that
the
just
thing.
That was the most boomer thing you've ever said.
it's just in my neighborhood. Anyway, we're gonna get to the bottom of that
Kids
too
these days.
during the break.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.